David Owen, Where the Water Goes, Life and Death Along the Colorado River. Immerse yourself in the fascinating world of the Colorado River, a captivating and indispensable water source that supports life, agriculture, and economies across the West. In David Owen's Where the Water Goes, Life and Death Along the Colorado River, delve into the history, politics, and laws that have shaped the river's use and distribution. Understand the intricate relationship between man-made infrastructures, like dams, and the natural ecosystems they impact. Through various case studies, explore the challenges of water conservation and allocation caused by decades-old agreements, and comprehend the consequences that our water usage decisions have on the environment.
Taming the West's Lifeline. The Colorado River irrigates 6 million acres, provides power to 2 hydroelectric plants, and quenches the thirst of 36 million people across 11 states in the West. But before man-made dams tamed the river's course in the 1930s, it shifted around Southern California and southwestern Arizona, depositing silt and flattening the land for farming. Ranchers and farmers pushed westward with the belief that rain follows the plow, only to find the arid West couldn't support their farms. However, deserts are ideal for agriculture if they have water. Consistent weather allows for stable farm employment and precise planting and harvest dates. The West could sustain a greater population if the waters that now run to waste were saved and used for irrigation. The Colorado River Water Wars. President Theodore Roosevelt's State of the Union address in 1901 paved the way for water reclamation projects, including the Laguna Diversion Dam, extensive reservoirs, canals, and aqueducts. Hoover Dam, completed in 1936, and the Colorado River Storage Project in 1956 led to the creation of Lake Powell and Lake Mead. These projects, while bringing water to the desert, also created tension over water rights and environmental concerns. In 1922, the Colorado River Compact divided water between the upper and lower basins. However, hydrologists overestimated the Colorado's flow due to the wettest years in decades since the 1400s, resulting in the chronic overallocation of water. Today, the Bureau of Reclamation predicts a deficit of around 3 million acre-feet of water by 2060, leading to ongoing water wars. Water laws in the U.S. In the U.S., water laws differ depending on the region. Riparian law governs water usage on the East Coast and England, allowing property owners an equal claim to water. Meanwhile, the Western U.S. follows the concept of prior appropriation, where property owners have a claim to the amount of water they first used, regardless of future circumstances. This means that senior rights holders have no obligation to share their water. These differences in water laws have a significant impact on water management in different regions of the U.S. Water law in the West. Water law in the western U.S. is complex, with multiple parties filing competing claims and with prior appropriation giving priority to commercial concerns like ranchers, farmers, and miners. The law of the river is central to this system, and those who have been immersed in this culture, like the water buffaloes, hold the key to understanding it. However, this system doesn't account for the needs of ecosystems or recreational activities like kayaking. The Colorado Water Conservation Board is working to acquire high-priority water rights in order to address these issues, while organizations called Recreational In-Channel Diversions, RICs, claim beneficial use for recreational activities. Nonetheless, the rights of commercial interests often take precedence over these more recent concerns. Water rights are rooted in a bygone era, and they need to be reimagined for modern times in order to ensure that the river and its ecosystems, as well as those who enjoy recreational activities, are protected. City dwellers versus nature lovers. The myth of the environmentally friendly off-grid lifestyle is debunked in this book. City dwellers hurt the environment less than country residents who encroach on wild spaces. Green behaviors can have unforeseen side effects like devastation caused by mining lithium for batteries and utilizing more water and land. Traditional economists tend to undervalue goods that are hard to pin a price on like air and water quality, and future civilization. Western cities follow water conservation plans, but their gains are lost with urban sprawl. Agriculture utilizes about 80% of the water from the Colorado's drainage basin. The environmental disaster of Salton Sea. In 1905, a bypass attempt by the California Development Company resulted in the creation of Salton Sea near California-Mexico border. It became a tourist attraction, but with time, irrigation waste, salt, and other harmful agricultural substances have been deposited, leading to its degraded ecological and environmental status. Moreover, the sea has no outlet other than evaporation, making the hazardous chemicals and metal levels more concentrated and volatile in the air. The destruction caused may cost up to $70 billion over 3 decades, including damage to marine life, birds, and the loss of recreational resources and property. The complicated debate on water use. In the ongoing debate between consumptive and non-consumptive water use, the issue is more complicated than it seems. Flood irrigation, while inefficient, helps maintain certain wetlands. When farmers switch to sprinkler systems, it increases the consumed water and leaves less for the river and water cycle. Flushing a toilet or letting a faucet run are non-consumptive uses, while watering a lawn is almost entirely consumptive. While cities promote water-efficient appliances, households might increase consumption in other areas, which can cause problems for sewage plants. The takeaway is that every small change in the water cycle affects many beneficiaries. The author cautions that wild landscapes are often ruined by well-meaning people who love them. The message is that we need to be mindful of our water usage and its impact on our environment. Xeriscaping solves irrigation problems. Traditional landscaping that requires irrigation in arid regions can be a significant burden on water resources. An oak tree in Southern California requires the same amount of water as 1,600 feet of Bermuda grass. Xeriscaping, or utilizing single-root vegetation, can provide ground coverage while using less water. The benefits of traditional landscaping, such as reducing urban heat island effects and dust problems, can still be achieved without the strain on water resources. Water wars. Water, a limited but essential resource, has become the center of legal battles between the western states of the U.S. The Colorado River, the primary source of water for these states, is overused, leading to a drop in water levels in Lake Mead and Lake Powell. The federal government has threatened to intervene if the water levels continue to drop. To avoid this, states have agreed to take less than their allocation. However, the beneficiaries of the current water laws are resistant to change because they fear government intervention. Despite these challenges, a complex agreement called Minute 319 was achieved, proving that traditional antagonists could negotiate and mutually benefit from such an agreement. The tool for resolving these battles was money. Without a change in water usage and regulations, a shortage declaration seems inevitable. Western states' water solutions. Diversion, desalination, cloud seeding, and reducing irrigation are some of the proposed solutions for the western states' water issues. The western states of America have been grappling with water scarcity for a long time, and several solutions have been proposed to address it. One solution is building a pipeline to channel water from the damp northwest to the dry southwest, although this would be exorbitantly expensive. An alternative arrangement would be to divert water from the Great Lakes into the Missouri River, with some water diverted to Kansas, Colorado, and other states. However, achieving this would require cooperation among entities with competing interests. Another solution is desalination, which is already underway in some places such as Florida and Dubai. However, it is expensive to filter seawater and force it into reverse osmosis. Moreover, desalination can encourage people to build in uninhabitable areas, thereby impacting the environment. Cloud seeding is another possibility, where planes spew silver iodide into the atmosphere, forming ice crystals that can increase rainfall by up to 15%. While economical, it remains unclear whether the widespread use of silver iodide will cause unforeseen problems. Finally, limiting irrigation is a contentious issue as people require food, and leaving fields fallow can damage irrigation systems and devastate local economies. Moreover, modern preferences for uniformity in produce shape and size have resulted in the rejection of imperfect food, causing farming to demand more land. Overall, a combination of these solutions will be necessary in addressing the Western states' water issues, as no one solution is sufficient. Water cooperation across borders. The book highlights the successful cooperation between water advocates with competing interests from the upper and lower basin states as well as Mexico. The Minute 319 Water Agreement of 2012 served as a judicial document that fostered cooperation and earned the support of various parties. Bennett W. Rayleigh, former U.S. Assistant Secretary of the Interior, organized a Grand Canyon River trip where competing parties discussed solutions. The meetings resulted in the successful Minute 319 agreement that satisfied stakeholders.
As we reach the end of our journey tracing the life and death of the Colorado River, we see complex layers of water rights, politics, and environmental issues intertwined with the river's sustenance to millions of people and acres of farmland. The book sheds light on water dilemmas involving allocation, conservation, and unforeseen consequences of human intervention. It highlights how urbanization and economic interests have shaped the Colorado River's use and distribution, raising concerns for the future. As water levels continue to drop, the collective will to innovate, cooperate, and adapt is essential, offering a glimmer of hope for the survival of this crucial resource. Where the Water Goes presents an urgent call to examine our own water consumption habits and ponder the invaluable lessons learned from the Colorado River's precarious journey.